Thank you very much, Laskin Corda. As I said yesterday, the past number of weeks in the Oireachtas have been dominated by debate and discussion regarding the development of a National Children's Hospital and cost escalation. I've been clear that I and my department, and indeed government, take extremely seriously the very significant increase in public funds over that originally committed by government based on the business case submitted by the National Paediatric Hospital Development Board. As I've already set out, once I was notified of a potential cost increase at the very end of August 2018, a period of intensive work took place, one that doesn't suit the narrative of those who suggest there was inaction. There was a high level of activity to establish the extent of the increase, to explore ways to reduce it, to quickly commission independent reviews, and to consider all contingencies. This detailed work was essential to arriving at the final position in November and allowing the government to make a thorough and considered decision in December, which eliminated options that would have actually cost more or delayed this vital project. So I rebut fully the idea that partial information leads to better decision-making than full information and a considered and thorough thought process. As I also said yesterday, the new Children's Hospital project will transform the delivery of children's healthcare in Ireland, with major capital investment underpinned by a new model of care. The establishment of Children's Health Ireland by legislation passed by this Oireachtas at the end of last year was an important milestone, and will further assist the ongoing operational and cultural integration of the 3 hospitals in advance of the opening of the new hospitals and centres. And I hear much discussion in relation to governance now. There's an opportunity there for members on all sides of this House to bring forward amendments when you voted to pass the Children's Health Ireland Act at the end of last year. It will have a leadership role nationally in the implementation of the national model of care for paediatrics and neonatology, working closely with paediatric service providers and other hospitals across the country in the primary care system and in the community. We will be replacing outdated hospital buildings with modern and appropriate infrastructure, including fit-for-purpose single ensuite rooms for every child, designed to best serve the needs of our children and their families and the staff who care for them. There are currently only 14 theatres, including 1 cath lab, across the 3 existing hospitals, which has to be supplemented by outsourcing procedures to other hospitals. This limits our ability to tackle long waiting times for surgery for children. In the new hospital, there will be 22 theatres, including 2 cath labs, which will have a profoundly positive impact on activity levels and on theatre waiting times for children. The equipment at the new Children's Hospital will include 5 MRIs with space for 2 more, 3 CT scans, 30 ultrasounds, 7 X-ray rooms, all of which will be state-of-the-art. New outpatient centres will be provided at Connolly Hospital and Tala Hospital, with the former opening later this year. Often this conversation sounds like it's about a project that hasn't commenced. Part of it will open this year, expanding outpatient and urgent care capacity and providing services in modern facilities. The 3 new sites will significantly increase capacity across all types of care, a 16% increase in inpatient capacity, 7% in ED attendances, 26% in day case capacity, and 47% increase in outpatient capacity levels. It is true, it's absolutely true, that the costs of this project have increased significantly, and that taxpayers want to be assured, as does government, that their investment is being managed correctly. An investment that they were meant to make in the 1960s, but due to a failure of political leadership is now only about to be delivered in the 21st century. An inquiry is underway to understand the reasons for the cost escalation associated with the new Children's Hospital construction project, and it will report back by the end of next month. It will be published, and I welcome the constructive engagement of Deputy Donnelly and others in making sure that the terms of reference are robust and that it will have a focus in relation to how we can reduce and mitigate costs. The primary focus for the review is on the governance and management arrangements in place within and between the National Paediatric Hospital Development Board and Executive, design team, relevant consultants, user groups and contractors. The review will deal with accountability of relevant key parties, functions and roles, and this will inform appropriate next steps. And as I said yesterday, government will act swiftly on its recommendations and is happy to work on a cross-party basis in that regard. We will not be found wanting, and I will not be found wanting, when it comes to acting against any entity or any company where errors were made. If the report finds the requirement for governance or personnel changes, I have stated clearly that these will happen. It is important that we give the review an opportunity to undertake its work before drawing conclusions prematurely. Commissioning external reviews and then deciding the outcome of those reviews before they report is something that is becoming all too commonplace in Irish politics. Lessons must and lessons will be learnt, and Cabinet took a number of decisions in that regard yesterday. I and many others firmly believe that we're building the right hospital on the right site and for the right reasons. I was presented with 3 options: cancel the project, re-tender the project, or proceed with the project. I know, and will always know, that the right decision was to proceed with that project. Lascian Corla, this hospital is under construction. I invite members to visit the Connolly site as it nears its completion. I invite members to visit the St James's site to see the building work already commenced as it comes over ground. When I yet hear a commentator suggesting that we should just fill in the hole in the ground, bricks are on top of bricks. I invite members to join with me and work with me in ensuring that while recognising and meeting legitimate and important concerns, we get on with delivering this vital project, and I assure you of my willingness and desire to work on a cross-party basis in that regard.